They lost a couple of bogus rounds that are probably not going to be consistently losing, so I think there's plenty of reasons to believe that Heroic is taking this to 3. But let's find out. NiP played a great game. They bounced back and they recovered very nicely on Inferno from a 0-7 deficit to a 16-13 victory. And they've got a chance to put away Heroic early on Ancient.
Surely the real threat and the real danger here for Heroic is just the tilt factor. If they somehow manage to sort of get upset enough at the loss of Inferno, which, given the experience, they shouldn't be, but you never know.
You never know.
It can happen. It could get to even the best of us.
I have never been tilted.
Mini golf, Jason.
Shut up.
Nice headshot. Hamper's going to be taking down KD and then try to run him down. Tessus knows he wants to control this part of the map before the bomb is planted, but he's not going to be allowed to. And Hamper's controlling this very, very well. Finally, they managed to get him. I'm a little bit surprised there was no backup there for Hampers. I thought maybe someone would have shown up.
Yeah, I think he expected backup to be there.
Yeah.
It took a minute for them to arrive. He got 2 kills and backed all the way off and reloaded, and there was never a second follow-up peek. Still, what they've at least done is delay things massively. And Heroic, this is a crazy play from Yabby. Gonna go all the way around the world. But think of how long these two players have to sit here, jiggle for information, make sure nobody's pushing on them. I think this is an impossible play to pull off.
Especially if the rest of his team is dead by the time that he gets there. I feel like even just losing one more player there was a bit of a disaster. You can tell that Rez not quite thinking about this part of the map yet, so he might go down, but the problem is that doesn't even help them that much. Sure, you get this kill and it's a 2-on-3, but now they know, and you're down to 20 seconds. Fighting it out, Stound's gonna get one another headshot. Oh no! They shouldn't come back, but they will! Yabby with the late flank and the last second round win. Unbelievable.
That is, I think NiP had to have been so shocked that they even tried to pull off that kind of a flank. I have no words. That's so crazy. And Hampus watching this while dead has got to be so frustrated and so, like, how do we lose this round?
I swear, even getting the kill on Rez to begin, I don't even think that's much of a difference. It's like, yeah, sure, you get that, but you're still in a really bad spot.
They never made the decision to press one way or the other. You could see when that peek comes in, I mean, they're both looking back towards CT spawn, but either go deal with the spawn player or go deal with the last player in the site.
That's so crazy. Okay. Well, Heroic needed that. Like we said, the tilt factor could always mess you up a little bit. You win the pistol round, maybe that goes away. Setting up for a deep pop around the corner for the Deagle. Not going to be getting any headshots there. Alexi, second man in, this time with a 5-7 and the flash to set it up. It's going to be Cadian to open it.
Yeah, good shutdown, good response from Cadian as soon as contact is made. 5-on-4. And Heroic have time to work the map. Defensive smokes deployed. A lot of attention towards the B bomb site. Heroic's going to adjust once again around the world to the complete other side of the map where Shush is ready and waiting. And he can lead the way with the MAC-10. He can get a lot of information. And Cadian, just maintaining presence here is going to make it hard for NiP to rotate that third player off back towards mid, back towards the A site.
Yeah, they've got a good read right now. And NiP obviously just saying, you know what, let's gamble the armor and the pistols kind of towards one side. And if anything happens, we have a slight chance, and if not, we'll stay dangerous in the next round. I don't think NiP are going to go too crazy. They do kind of run into the middle, and as you said, a good way to stop that gap. So Cadian even taking away a couple of more armors there. MAC-10s are getting all the kills at the moment. They're loving life.
Yeah, going to be beautiful, especially when you know you've taken away pistols and the armor, as you mentioned earlier. So next round, those MAC-10s can really chew them up. 3 of them on the board. You'd expect something hyper-aggressive against unarmored USPs. 2-0 for Heroic.
But again, we should have learned something about, you know, good early starts here. So we don't want to get too excited. But obviously, also playing the T side of Ancient, it is a good beginning. You want to see Heroic carry that through and, yeah, not let NiP back into the game too early. USPs and one single flashbang there on Alexi. Nice.
Nice. The God Flash. Used and absolutely useless.
Yeah, no one even in that part of the map to be flashed at all. They love to find Cadian in the middle, at least just for the revenge of it. But it looks like even that's going to be potentially tricky. I think the refrag on him. Oh, they didn't check the bomb site. Oh, if Rez could have found one more shot, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have got real spicy, because then Shush probably would have had to move up into the B bomb site and get exposed to the Brolin flank, and that could have been something cool to work with. Regardless, Heroic will survive. NiP not moving forward, looking for some exit kills. Heroic already, Shush, you could see, starting to consider where they want to fall back to.
That's one of those positions for Rez where the difference between a USP and a P250 just makes such a difference, because that follow-up fight he has a P250 is all of a sudden a lot more doable.
This would be great if S-Tag can get one kill. Maybe swap out to an AK if he gets another one. Oh, wow. Okay.
Sit down. Tess is now, yeah, shoot that AK over. Tess knows what is coming, all right, so pretty good read there, but the pre-fire, not able to catch S-Tag. Still, that's a very expensive round. They get away with an AK. They've set themselves up for a nice early return into this map.
Mac 10 Master on S-Tag.
Yeah, especially the second one is sick.
With that crosshair, too. Ugh.
He's got the dot in the middle.
I know.
Who does that?
Nasty. 3-0.
Yeah, but AK on board for the CT side, AWP on Rez. And just some early nades baiting out whatever counter utility might have been there for NiP. 3 people in the middle early on for the CTs. Nobody in A. Oh, and that late HE. Good stack to set up a kill on Shush.
Yeah, followed up with the spam. Great damage, great sequence there for Hampus. Now protecting Donut. Oh, but he didn't expect that. An aggressive slide as the smoke clears. And Heroic have access to the mid stairs.
And they're not being quiet about it either. Signaling that this is happening, and with the smoke on top as well. Definitely no. Another flash around the corner here. Rez now getting hunted down. Then AWP, he's going to put up a smoke himself to try and stay safe. But they've cut this map in half, and the bomb is still on Cadian near T spawns. This very awkward missed shot here, and they're playing a dangerous game. There is another player in S-Tag, and they're going to try and run up close. S-Tag and Rez. The defense looks great right here, but it's not done yet. Cadian and Stown still able to pick up a kill each, and they make it around the corner. S-Tag, if he could have been there to slow that down, it would have been huge, but somehow Heroic have found a way to get a bomb plant.
Yeah, I mean, they just infested the middle part of the map, and the other two players are just working off that aggression and information that's pulling the defense towards them. Rez has to back off. There's no way you can go for it with the AWP in this situation. So a 4th round for Heroic. That looked dicey for a moment. When Rez and S-Tag win that battle at the A-bomb site, you're thinking, oh no, that's actually crazy they managed to win this.
Yeah, and you know, in the pistol round where they were so passive, NiP in that 3-on-4 or whatever it was, 2-on-4, this time actually S-Tag and Rez decided to say, instead of getting baited out by this one guy jumping at the corner, let's fight him. And that's probably a really good play, but still couldn't obviously win the round. But it's a little bit of a difference for NiP. 4-0 in favor of Heroic here, and a very interesting round. Cutting the map in half and ultimately just finding a nice 2-on-2 at the end.
This is one of those maps you can watch Heroic on the T side. Really, really comfortable working the map in so many different situations. Having players challenge extremities away from action, having players get advanced positioning. They do a really, really good job on Ancient of working around each other's positioning and around the information that's gaining them. We've seen it a number of times already. This round here obviously being one good example. Pissed around with a big flank from Yabby as well.
Get to save the AWP. We'll see what they could do with it. Oh, very aggressive here, but Roland, this has been heard, and the flames, they're going to obscure it a little bit, but he is very lucky to still be alive. He was making a lot of noise really early on, and they're going to swarm out the weapon to somebody else. That makes sense. But yeah, they want that M4 to be active early in the round to get that 4-on-5 type advantage, because otherwise they're in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, you still have Rez's AWP starting to shift over as well. He's going to be smoked off if he heads towards the mid-stairs, and Heroic want to execute on this. One late lurk, and Tess is coming through Donut, and that's where the defense is shifting. They want to get away from the action. They want to at least eliminate this half of the attack.
Yeah, finding Tess is good, at least to be able to do that, but he does get one of the kills first. Rez showing up, and he misses the shot. If they wanted to win the round, that probably had to be a connection on that AWP, and it just isn't. Hampers goes down, and Alexi just with a 5-7 for now, all the way back in T spawn. So good call for Heroic.
Yeah, another one. Well managed.
And those deep smokes that they throw all the way from outside of the bomb site towards CT spawn means even if Rez gets back into position early. He probably can't put that ult to use. He did find one chance there, but he had to relocate himself quite a bit to get there. Wow, 5-0. Heroic, and especially playing, again, the T side of Ancient. Looking pretty good right now. And this is their map pick, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, as we mentioned right before coming into this as well, very, very strong win rate on this map. 4-0, or 5-0 it will be. Alexi's not going to find anything at the end. Now, I guess if you're NiP, you're just like, well, they went out to a 7-0 lead on Inferno really early on, and we managed to find the solution. We managed to come back into things.
Yeah, you do have that recent history to look back on and smile about. Although I feel like it's very different on this map.
For sure. And especially also that this lead is now extending on the T side of Ancient for Heroic as well. That never feels good to go down this much of a hole really early on in Ancient.
It really doesn't. But let's give NiP the benefit of the doubt anyway, just based on how they were playing earlier. Would love to see them attempt something like this again. First thing to manage is their own economy, which in this round is looking pretty good. Plenty of rifles and grenades to follow it up. And some slightly more aggressive setup here in the middle. Oh my god, that is so close.
Yeah, that's going to be frustrating for Hampus. Took all that damage for no good reason. Doesn't even get anything out of it. At least Alexi and Brolin have taken control outside of the B bomb site. But Yabi's still lying in wait. And once again, Heroic lining up to really put some pressure on the A site.
Cadian sneaking on through, making a bit of noise there, dropping back off, which if anyone is near enough by, yeah, could be a little bit of a health hazard. Boost up to just check if anyone is back there. I mean, Rez is playing there earlier, so want to try and see if they get the jump on it. But again, they sneak up close to the A-bomb side, and with no real warning, they're going to go for it. Not a flash or a smoke or anything thrown. They're just on the bomb site, and it might be a really early save call here for NiP.
That's a disgusting entry. That, like, time from, like, jumping up on the boost to getting that headshot is so minuscule.
And it might even be hard to save the weapons, because lurking on the other side of the map is Yabi. Hanging out. Rez, he's got the right idea, but still, timing is everything.
Yeah, it all depends on if Yabi actually wants to make a move, or if he's thinking that maybe they'll kind of try to push out of the B bomb site and save through the double doors. Now he's starting to shift and look.
It feels like maybe Rez is making the correct choice here. All right, 6-0, and yeah, one good opening is all they needed. And
it's 6-0 in a way that's like very hard for NiP to know exactly what adaptation to make. I mean, they've abused the A-bomb site a couple of times, but also, I mean, they've really infested towards CT spawn up the mid stairs into the red room and been able to work around that kind of map presence in middle, that advanced presence in middle.
Well, this is also unreasonable.
Yeah.
There's Hampus, who's low from earlier in the middle, so gets back into CT spawn and just gets blown up through the smoke.
I think that's DJL. I think I heard him say we need to fight middle. Which I think Hampus would be like, yeah, we tried last round. I got shot through the smoke to 10 HP. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah. Although, I mean...
But it makes sense. A lot of the success is predicated on that mid control into a donut presence, mid control into the red room at the top of the mid stairs.
And there are a lot of pushes that are happening outside of the B-bomb side for the CT side that can't be done if you don't also have mid-control, because you could get shot at the back if you swing out of the Jaguar tunnel like that, you could easily get blown up. So, yeah, he's probably right. Saying it is one thing, though. Actually doing it, I guess we'll find out if they can. A little bit of a different lean this time for Heroic. Pretty common for this map, but not something that they've been doing so much. So probably hoping to just catch NiP off guard with some of that mid-control. They'll be right on that B ramp. Flashes go in. Alexi's still here, and with the crossfire on Brolin, this is looking good for now. Rez gets there in the last second to pick up Shush, and that might be enough of a slowdown now. NiP can take a deep breath. They don't really have to fight this anymore.
What a great defense from NiP. That's a nice change of pace, uppercut to a different part of the map from Heroic, but NiP's ready for it, despite the fact that they had players fighting in middle. Now it's about, if you're Heroic, what damage can you do?
A little little bit there. Stoun's gonna pick up the headshot. Katie in there with the AWP, and that's scary. Rez wants to peek, but it's a little bit too deep, and Hampus, he'll take down Stoun in return. That is scary. Katie in now on the other side. Smoke goes up, and quick to the defuse. He's gonna throw out a nade, and that baits Hampus off the defuse. He goes straight back for it, and you're right, with a kit in his pocket, he just has enough time for it. Unbelievably close. 1 versus 1, but he will pick it up.
That's a 2v4, and there's no way for Katie, and you just have to kind of guess if he's sticking the bomb or if he's off it, and Katie obviously goes for it, makes the wrong call, but it's a blind read. Great defense from Brolin shifting into position. Alexi hadn't even pounced from the bomb site, but it's all Stoun from here. Stoun and Katie can bring this back from a 2-on-4 into a 1v1. So the damage is done. Even in a loss, Heroic's going to be okay with that. Bomb planted, 4 kills. You're excited at the prospect of what NiP's economy is looking like right now. You just need another win.
Oh, but look at this. Through the fire. That could have gone really bad for Hampus, but running with his back turned means he didn't get flashed after all. And that's obviously huge news. They're going to try and see if they can follow up on this with some slightly aggressive moves towards the bomb site. Smoke is there, and they almost went before, and that might have been an easy kill for Rez. Nice jiggle, and S-Tag is no more. Deep nades in there as well. That's going to almost blow up Brolin and Rez. 4-on-4 now, and another good A-take coming in. They're pushing through, and somehow Brolin was ready, although I'm not even sure how.
Yeah, well, now that there's one more, they know Brolin is still alive back there, and Tessis has hitting some bangers in this round. He had the opening. He will eventually go down into a 2-on-2, and Alexi going to try and slide forward. Bomb still not planted. The defensive smokes from NiP held this off and have made this round winnable.
And we're clearly very comfortable in just waiting it out now that they're this deep on the map and saying, you know, we got a minute left.
But now comes the really weird guessing game where you know Heroic have worked you across the map a number of times in these weird mid-round 2v2s and 3v3s, so how do you position yourself? Well, Alexi's at least in the right position.
Alexi is almost there. That could have almost been the one round, but Stoun, they still don't know that he's really here, so he might be able to get the jump on them. He's going for it. He does find Stoun in the corner, and that's enough to get the kill. Yabby now trying to get back into position. And the bomb, Molotov, if it had been a little bit further up, that might have blocked him out of it. He's still in trouble in this one, though. Has to be scared. And they're straight on it. Through the smoke, 3 seconds on that defuse. He's not fired his gun yet. And they're going to go full defuse in front. I'm surprised. He obviously thought that was going to be a little bit of a fake, and it wasn't. Alexi, huge save in that one.
Yeah, I think he was thinking that was early in the bomb timer that someone would tap it and try and peek around the edge of the smoke, but there was some safety if he just wanted to play the spam game. He had the ability to get into some cover and play that relatively safe, but the positioning from Alexi, he read it the whole way. Got to jump on the rotation, got to jump on the shift over towards the B bomb site. That's perfect timing for Alexi out of the plant. 4-round lead for Heroic, and they call their first time out.
Yeah, they still have NiP in an interesting spot, right? That's still another round where they lose 3 players. There is another bomb plant, so the pressure is still absolutely on for NiP, but
the rest of this half pressure is on for NiP.
Yeah.
CT side Ancient, this is you're sitting at this 2-6 scoreline. You're thinking in your head that you have to go on a massive run here. There's no more rounds to give up for Heroic, a team that's very, very strong on Ancient.
And losing track of those T's in the middle of the round, even though you knew they're on A, but they just managed to escape. That's really hard to deal with.
Here we go, round 9. No fast challenges. Heroic got away with the first 6-round stretch that they went on of a lot of just 1 to 2 players in middle and fast hit towards the A bomb site or massive bodies towards the A bomb site. NiP's shown that they can stop that tactic. They can shut it down. So now Heroic have to find success elsewhere.
And look at how quick they are. 1 minute and 25 seconds, and they are this close to the B bomb site. Don't have the bomb here, but all it takes is one mistake for someone from NiP to go check that position, and you could get blown up without even really realizing. Molotov around to try and put some pressure on Hampus. He's going to have to smoke that one off. Rez is there to try and help him out, so they might have a shot at defending this. Good kill on the Tesses. And that might make Heroic think twice.
Ooh.
Nearly the kill on Stoun on top of it. He is practically dead already. But Hampus is not sure if anyone else made their way in.
God, Heroic got the shift they wanted with the pressure in cave. They pulled Rez over to the B bomb site, opened up middle. But they didn't get anything from there. A wonderful win from Rez as he got back in position at the perfect moment. And now all that's left for Heroic is to attack this bomb site. It's the only map control, it's the only presence they have, and Stoun is low with the AWP.
Smoke's going up early. 30 seconds left. No real rotation from the A bomb side yet. Goes right over the head. It's so close for Broland with that FAMAS. And he still wants to keep going. Inside of the smoke now. 19 seconds. They're going to be finding him. Broland out of it. And now the rotation is coming in, although it's being slowed down by that deep Molotov back there. Flash around the corner. Shush. Undeterred. Still getting the shot, even though he was blind. No bomb plant in 5 seconds. And a clean retake. That was interesting because Heroic definitely had time for a bomb plant. They just kept fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted to secure at least some modicum of safety to actually make that round winnable before they really dedicated themselves to it. Well managed from NiP. 3 rounds straight, even with a blind kill on top for Shush. That's a fantastic round from Rez. I mean, he reads everything. He gets pulled out of position and reads the rotation back around to Donut to help out his teammate who gets Molotovs. And then he's in prime position at the B bomb site to close out the round.
If they can win this one on NiP, they might actually finally have something that feels like a little bit more of an easy round coming up without the money for Heroic. So we'll see. Broland again flashed and through the smoke. It's a headshot from Stown to take down Broland. They were trying to set that up with a pop flash and it absolutely backfired. That's going to be surely a disgusting replay for from Stown's point of view. Ooh, all right.
Liberty's taken. Cadian really... Oh, my lord.
Please.
You almost saw that happening from Hampa's POV. You saw a little head poke up, and you're like, oh, dear.
Well... Put the pressure on.
And Aztag's push it A. I mean, he can find this kill. Oh, okay, nope, never mind. Shush has got that as well. The Deagles in this round have been just unbeatable. And Rez and Alexi have to save.
If you're NiP, you just have to shrug and say, okay, well, we got headshot through the smoke, couple of 1Ds in some really outrageous positions, and then we just never had it. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, what deep 1D in middle, obviously pushing a ramp in 1D. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? You can't prevent any of it. So, 7th round for Heroic. Couldn't get it done with AKs, but the Deagles worked out just fine. They extended back to a 4-round lead.
And the problem, again, really just to reiterate, is the fact that this was Heroic's turn to really save and have to go down and just play with maybe some Tech 9s or something like that. And then NiP could have had a little bit of an easier time, so this is pretty devastating, yeah. Yeah,
they're that really tough. Yeah, there's the first one from Shush. This is the second 1D from Shush as well. So he bought the money Deagle this round. Funny how that works.
There's one in every game, a little lottery going on.
Tough part now for NiP is like you just finally went on a streak of 3 rounds where you were having tough money issues to open up the game due to Heroic's like blistering start. And you just started to feel like you're getting your legs beneath you, and now you're really back to a shaky money situation where you have to restabilize again.
Yeah, I mean, there's no disguising it. This is a very, very grim start for NiP, and as much as we could admire the comeback during the first half on Inferno, this is looking a lot tougher right now. And credit to Heroic as well for not going on that roller coaster of tilt and getting too down on themselves after the loss on Inferno. They seem to be right back into this.
I mean, it helps when this map is so strong for them, the map that they picked in this series as well, so you're going into it, and it's an easy way to calm yourselves down. Like, guys, we're beasts on this map. This is what we wanted all along. We know we got them. We know we have their number.
Yeah, it would have been a luxury to win Inferno, but if we didn't, we got this, and we're going to be fine. Certainly they are at the moment. Hunting for the remaining weapons, and could be really awkward to save them. They're kind of centered on the map right now. Bit of a peek here. Now they know where to... Okay.
That's an awkward engagement. Yeah, he's not going to be happy about that one, but Cadian stepped up to be aggressive. Timing is everything on this peak, and Alexi's got it. And that should negate all the hunting, all the chasing. 8-3. And NiP set themselves up for a very strong buy in the next round, but they have no chance of taking a lead into the second half.
Yeah, this is already so many rounds. 8 on the T side. The forever crab walk spray from Tethys is not exactly, it's not pretty, but it worked.
It doesn't have to be pretty.
No, not always.
No.
As long as you get that job done, who's really watching. Much more of an even spread on the Heroic side in terms of the kills. Stands at 10, so still doing a really good job, but, there isn't that huge drop-off like on Inferno, where he had to do everything on his own, it felt like. A lot more even. Hampus, look at how close he is. Defensive smoke, but looks like Shush just wants to try and beat it. No shot there and a leg onto Stown, but they're actually on the bomb side. This is a little bit risky. If S-Tag stands up and gets his head blown off, there is an opening that they could use.
They better clear him out, though. They better drop utility. There goes S-Tag, finally. However, the rest of NiP has arrived.
Oh, look at Yabi. Again, playing it late. They're running back. Hampus, is he hearing the footsteps? He must be. They've left one guy on the bomb site. Yabi's walked all the way through, and there's nothing that Hampus can do about it. Almost the follow-up is there. Brawler nearly died. I don't think they even realized what was going on, and now it's so tricky. There's still a minute left, but where are the remaining Heroic players? They're pretty much all across the map. There's still another player at the A site while they're bringing the bomb finally towards B. 45 seconds, but they've slowed it down. They're waiting for NiP to make another mistake. This is excruciating to play against, no doubt.
But I mean, Alexi has the great read once again. He's come over and at least slows it, at least causes concern. And that's bought time for Brolin to move over. Now, there is time to come back, but you're rotating right into Rez. Missed shot might be his undoing, and it is. Good rebuttal from Stown, and that should let them know. With Yabi's positioning in CT spawn, with Tess's coming through and clearing deep in mid from Donut, they know the path is clear back to the A bomb site. So back where it all began.
Yeah, they did the round world strategy, and they're going to find Brolin at the end. That's a very frustrating round for NiP, because they just lose sight of where people are. It's not even that they necessarily get out-dueled, they just have no idea where to defend from at the end.
Yeah, and you can just tell a lot of these rounds on the T side for Heroic, they're just outclassing NiP in the mid rounds.
Yeah.
It's just their concept and their philosophy and their understanding of how to shift around each other and how to just seamlessly slide into plan B and plan C when it's needed. It's just absolute masterclass for Heroic at the moment. NiP can't handle it.
Some of this would be, I mean, it's not to blame Rez, but if he gets the first kill on the A-bomb side instead of the leg shot, some of these things might be a little bit different, but...
Again, though, I got to give credit over to Rez. I mean, he kind of reads what's coming. He's like, okay, we got punished really early on by these kind of more contact-y, like more timing-based, like mass body A hits out of Eddie Main. Like, it's going to come back. He had to have known. Eventually, they're going to go back to it. Timings on his rotations in a number of rounds in this half have been pretty damn solid, but just not putting the rounds on the board necessary to really contend for the map. Not yet, at least.
9-3. Some weapons on the side of NiP still, but not everything that you would want. And Heroic just grinding their way through this first half. It's pretty impressive to see. S-Tag is up close with a 5-7. Flashbang to try and just annoy him a little bit. And they bait him into the pre-fire. So that's everything you could have wanted. Tessus is no problem taking that fight as a follow-up.
Oh, and this time they slow it down. Instead of applying more pressure, they're like, someone's going to come peek this. Someone's going to want to come challenge. See exactly how committed we are to this A bomb site. It's Hampus. They want to clear out into the open. I wonder if Tess has spotted him jumping back in. I don't know. Yabi's still outside the B bomb site. Shush and Cadian just now making their move to take control of middle in the mid round. 55 seconds left on the clock.
And NiP just don't have the confidence right now to push. I mean, they wanted to push up to get some information there with S-Tag, right? But now they're really in the dark. They're back on the B bomb site, a little bit far back on A, which means all of the middle, all of the donut, and outside of the B bomb site's all in control of Heroic. It means they get really dangerously close. 30 seconds. There's actually still some good nades left on the NiP side. They've managed to hold some of their nades. And without the 25 seconds, now they're going to be diverting back to the B bomb site, leaving Cadian to stop a rotation, but it doesn't matter if they can't win the fight here at the B bomb site. 19 seconds, they're running back to A again. They almost don't have time for this. Cadian misses a shot, and Hampus could win this round with one kill on someone planting the bomb. 5 seconds now. Yabi setting up to try and control it, making sure no one could get through. And with 2 seconds left, they get the bomb plant and the kill on Hampus. What a close round.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful from Heroic. Great kills from Shush, but just the way that they juggle and change out the players who are the pivot point, right? When you run a rotate all the way back towards the B bomb site, you have a player in Donut there ready to cut somebody off, and then all of a sudden you want to come back towards A, you shift Cadian up towards the top of the stairs to see if you can cut them off coming back, and I mean, it just works both ways. And that's what Heroic has been doing this whole time, is using that mid player at the top of the mid stairs as the pivot point. And just pulling NiP constantly back and forth.
When they start running back from all the way outside of B with, 19, 17 seconds or something like that, it looks really, really scary. But it works.
and the trust to make those calls with the time running low. Hampus eats a couple of nades down to 23 HP.
It feels like this is the kind of stuff that Heroic, I think even in Rio, you could see that they were starting to do this a little bit more, and you know, that's scary. This is the kind of stuff you would normally associate with how outsiders like to play T-sides. You know, everywhere is kind of getting attacked. There's a lot going on, and if you miss even one step, they're going to sneak in behind you somewhere. So very frustrating, very effective counter-attack if you can trust each other, like you said, and actually get the timings down right. Hampus at the back of the site with a scout at very low health. Absolutely nothing that he could do in this one. Going to be 11 rounds for Roik to open up on Ancient with.
Yeah, and no reason to not think they'll extend that to 12.
Yeah.
Might as well go hunting. You have all the money for the last round. You know NiP is going to have money for the full buy as well. Although not anything too valuable that you'll be taking away. Just stat padding at this point. But yeah, this has just been Heroic showing that their understanding and their comfort on this map is just at another level than NiP for the time being.
Ooh, okay.
Cool.
That was a nice double tap. Giving some love to the 5-7. Rez would love to save the AK, but I don't think they're going to let him. They're coming in from 3 different angles, and ultimately Stan will be the one to bring the round to an end.
Yeah, it would have been great. The only player who's really going to be hurting for cash is Alexi. He has to drop down to an SMG, so that saved AK-47 would have been massive for him, but not the biggest loss in the world. They've got the AWP out on Rez. They've got 3 M4s with utility. What they don't have is a good read of how Heroic is moving around the map.
No, they really don't, and they're also obviously out of rounds to figure that out. If they had a solution, they needed to employ that way earlier than this. Round number 15, and Heroic with just a super display on how to play this T side of Ancient. So I'm going to go back and watch. Stown sneaking through, going to be taking the kill, and almost catching that orb on Rez. He is actually kind of lucky to be alive.
And I think that's actually the first time in this entire half that we've seen Stown make that play. He just walked through a defensive smoke towards middle to clear it in the reverse position. And now he's got the advanced position again in the red room. Another kill. That's Brolin. And once again, the defense is split and has no idea what's coming.
A bit of a failed smoke. Decided to try and go aggressive behind it anyway.
Alexi's been pulled back to deal with the mid pressure, but they're just going to walk right into the bomb site that he just vacated. So, I mean, once again, just a clean, clinical, free win.
Yeah, super impressive. What a first half here for Heroic. Catching the kill on Alexi and setting up for anyone coming through. Rez already scoped up here, but I don't know how this could even be done. You need some mistakes for Heroic to get this 2-on-4 working. Oh, nice tap for Yabi, and it's a 12-3 lead going into the second half. What a performance from Heroic. We'll see if they can close this out quick in the second half. It's coming right up. We're back once again. Second map, second half, and Heroic with a performance on the T side of Ancient that I can't actually remember seeing for a long, long time. This is crazy. 12-3. I don't think NiP could do anything to bring this back.
Well, I was going to say it's a good start, the opening kill, but Cadian trades it right back. Tess is forced into a retreat. Now this is all a ruse. It's the B bomb site that's under attack, and it's Stown in cave. He's going to be not smoked off. Dualies in hand. He can tuck himself into the corner. He's being a tough target to hit, keeping attention in his direction, allowing his teammates to get closer up. Good shot from Stown, and another one through the smoke from Cadian and Tess's in a 1v3 for Hampus.
He took so much attention, stopping the bomb plant and forcing 3 people to try and fight him, and eventually his teammates show up. So good recovery there. Cadian with a couple of shots, one of them through the smoke, I think, and that's a pistol round 1 in the second half. Wow.
Yeah, it just continues for Heroic. Just this dominant run. There was just a 3-round stretch for NiP, 3 rounds in a row. Rounds 7, 8, and 9. No! Outside of that, it's been all Heroic. And a timeout taken from NiP. They're third, because they want to talk things over, but I mean, there's not really a whole lot of adjustments to be made at this point.
No, it feels like, I mean, I don't blame them for doing the timeout, but obviously this is so late. Overpass would be the third and deciding map, but it feels like at this stretch we're gonna get there really quickly.
And it feels like, I mean, if this goes to Overpass, another map where Heroic, I mean, this kind of style that they've used here on Ancient of infesting parts of the map, attacking the extremities, working the defense across both sites, like that's something that can be really effective on Overpass as well.
Yeah, it can, and something that they showed, I think, throughout Rio that they were pretty good at as well. So you got to be careful about that. NiP hopefully have studied up because they're going to need that research. 13-3. NiP forcing into the round. No real surprise there. Trying to get through the Molotov and the smoke, and they're going to get the pretty quick trade. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, good one for one. Shush gets caught off guard. Oh, Yabby's going to jump in front. The spam is going to help him make his play, but the Tech 9 wins it out at the end. That's Brolin, and now we're in a 3-on-3. And now there's a little bit of a chance for NiP.
Yeah, there is this quick bomb plant. Smoke is fading, and I don't think Alexei managed to see Tessus was hiding inside of it all along. Flash set up. No one that actually get flashed. Hampers and Brolin, though, going to be very hard to hold this one down. Need that strong D to begin with. Not going to be able to get it. Brolin now in a 1 versus 3. Going to be able to execute one of them. Oh, the follow-up is amazing. Brolin now working on the quad to save the round. And even going down, they don't have a kit anywhere, so he's going to have to make a run for it. What a round from Brolin.
Yeah, that's absolutely spectacular. Nice little bait and switch there. 2 players in that position, and Heroic never saw it coming. But a nice clean entrance in terms of the 1-for-1 trade with plenty of space to work with after the fact. That's good jobs on the entry for NiP to be able to get in and get that bomb planted before it could be slowed down, before it could be stopped, and before the utility would fade.
Nicely done. Unlikely that they could win that. I mean, they had to go through, I think, a Molotov and the smoke to even get onto the A-bomb site, so a lot could have gone wrong for NiP before they even get close to the plant. But they were able to pull it together. M4 saved in the last round, and they buy up behind it whatever they can here, Heroic. Probably feeling like there's no threat of an actual NiP comeback, so they don't even care about the potential for getting a lot of full buys here. They're like, you know what, we're gonna make this work either way. So, which is probably true. But if it isn't, then.
But if it isn't,
you know, they could probably make some better economic choices. Still don't think it's going to be a problem, but...
No, probably not.
Yeah, stack on the B bomb site, leaning towards middle, kind of ignoring the A part of the map.
For the time being, I would wonder where Heroic is going to find their information. Mid-stairs smoked off, donut smoked off, nobody from B shifting just yet, although getting aggressive now with the 3 players there. Gonna peek up towards those double doors any second now, another delay smoke. This is actually not too shabby for Heroic, all things considered. But still, without that convincing information outside of the B bomb site, they're not able to shift anyone. And in fact, they're moving away from Cadian, away from the point of attack.
Yeah, they're really hoping that this is, you know, convinced NiP to go somewhere else, but not to be. Cadian standing on top of the flames, committing himself to the defense. We need to get the shot on Hampus, but the bomb is still going to be planted. Full control of middle and donut here for NiP, so they're super safe in getting that bomb plant. And there's not a lot Heroic could do about it.
And with no kit and no flashbangs or anything like that, this should be a save. I'm actually kind of surprised even the rifles are this close up towards CT spawn. Looks like they almost want to challenge for it a little bit, or some utility to get their teammates set up for the exit kills. But there's no way they go for this, surely. Chuck out the smokes and back off.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could pick up another AK somewhere, but...
They're keeping NiP close to the bomb so that they can shift those 2 players towards A main. They can shift down these mid-stairs to cut off this escape as well. There goes Brolin, nice kill.
Yeah, Alexei still in donut. See if the pistols are going to come for him. He wants to push up. It's just a Galil on him, but still, the bomb. Do you find anything else here? They're really trying, but doesn't look like it. That's a little bit upsetting.
Yeah, just a MAC 10 that they're able to salvage. 13-5, plenty of rounds to work with, obviously. 8-round lead. And still an M4 in the round to play with in the hands of Tessus. 5-7 on Shush and Cadian. So, I mean, this is still a dangerous round for NiP.
Yeah, they have to respect it. I'm sure it'll be quite a while before NiP start to feel any kind of joy on this map in terms of making a comeback. They're going to have to win a lot more rounds. Probably another 5 or so in a row. Hampus on a good opening there. Going to be taking down Yabi. And there was a second player that just couldn't capitalize.
Good shift from Hampus, though. Good read of the situation. Heard the bullets come out, gets into safety. And Tessus realized if he kept sliding out, there was a chance he was going to get taken down from lane. NiP with a 5-on-3. And no clean engagements, no clean reads for Heroic in any sense.
Yeah, Stan wanted to get close, but they kind of knew he was there all along, so no way out of it for him. He wants to stay within that one-shot range, but just not really going to be doable.
Gotta respect it, though. NiP still being really cautious in this situation, not letting anything slip away. Now, because they're slow playing it so much, however, it will buy time for Tessus with the M4 to rotate over to this B bomb site, and just a chance for a lot of luck, right, as these smokes go down. Still very low percentage, but the opportunity is there for Tessus to pull off something special with this boost.
Yeah, looking over. A lot of AKs on the other side, so you've got to assume as well, even if he gets a kill, they're going to be quick to respond. 30 seconds. And there's the early shots down. No more. And Tessus tried for the lineup, but didn't really work out. S-Tag will get the 2 remaining kills of the round. And it's another step in the right direction for NiP. Very slowly. And one false move here, and they're going to get wiped out on Ancient, so...
Timeout taken from Heroic. They want to talk over, I think, the money situation. I have to imagine in today's economy, this is going to be a buy with M4s, but I think the conversation is, do you want to do the M4s? Do you want to drop down to pistols? They have rounds to play with. They have a big enough lead to, not necessarily throw away rounds, but, just wait until you can get the full buy, till you can get the AWP in the hands of Cadian. That's not going to happen. They're going to go for the M4s here. Cadian's probably just going to drop down and try and save some cash by getting, an SMG or a pistol so you can have an AWP in the next gun round. But they're just making sure economically they don't put themselves in a horrible position.
(13-6). Still a massive gap between these two teams. But Rez and Hampus are playing pretty well right now. That's something to be encouraged by if you're on the NiP side here. You should be thinking, all right, if we get one of those vintage Hampus performances out right now, that would make a difference. Nice nade and spam to bring down Brolin. Not the start that NiP needed here.
Thank God for the nade, because Yabi was having a hard time finding the finishing blow to that kill through the smoke. With his half HP, he gives the M4 over to Cadian. And Stown still playing a dangerous game. Alexi's close up to the smoke.
Yep, shots ringing out on the other side. And Rez, I think, ducked down behind the line of fire, or he could have been dead. Still took a lot of damage for it. Nice flash to set up that one. Hampus out of the round, 5-on-3, and Heroic doing a lot of good work at the start of this one.
And after all this aggression, now Heroic can play it passively as they'd like. Stown using the sound cues, another kill through smoke. Tessus falls, but Shush is right there to pick up the pieces. And man, NiP, they never even got to look into a bomb site. They just got the most basic of map control, and then were absolutely ruined by everything. A very in-your-face defense from Heroic gets him to 14.
And the confidence to take some of those fights outside of the B-bomb site, because they were still controlling the middle of the map, Heroic just have so much they can work with here. 14 on their side. And keeping 4 rifles alive on top of everything else, so... NiP could still buy, but obviously if you want to build that comeback, you can't let go this early on. Still a long, long way back. Hampus expecting something, and he's not wrong either. Gabby's right there. Let's see what happens when the smoke fades. They had the flash set up from earlier that actually did get the kill. Looks like they're going to just keep smoking that position for a minute.
Ooh, a tough challenge for Shush coming up, though, it looks like. Remember that boost that we saw in the first half, Heroic pull off? They could easily Rez and S-Tag do that. But they back away when they see no engagement peeking deep. Mid control for Heroic, B lane control for Heroic. That allows Tessus to shift over towards the A bomb site as well. So all bases covered at the moment for the defense.
Look at the lean now. I mean, it's just one person outside of B that's giving them the confidence to basically say, you know what? We feel like we know what's happening. It looks dangerous when you look at the minimap, because if they lose that control, maybe not. A little bit of aggression coming out. S-Tag, not that desperate. Good control with the AK, taking down Sjuush and Yabi. But still, another 2 people defending this position. 3 on 5. But are they going to be ready? There's Cadian with the kill. Testis is still there and even retreating. He picks up S-Tag. A 2 on 2. 25 seconds and another surprise. This time it's Hampers going down. The bomb nearly delayed. It looked like maybe he was going to get interrupted through the smoke. They even tack up Alexi, and it's a 1 versus 2 and a very tough win for him here.
He's got to make a decision right now. He can't stay here.
Yeah, once that smoke behind him fades, he's going to be in trouble. And Heroic giving him some space to make a mistake. He's going to go take a look, not finding anyone there, and backing on through. That almost looked like that was going to be a connection. If they find him, they will. And they double up on him, no problem. Good retake. Stown with the final kill of the round. Double for him, double for Tessus, and Heroic now at 15.
And that's the danger of allowing the CT side to have all that control. We highlighted, I mean, they had B, they had mid control, they had B lane control, and even when you get the opening kills like S-Tag when they push into you, even when you have a 5-on-3, because there's so much map control elsewhere for the defense, they can crunch on your position with timings that you're not ready for.
Yeah.
You just don't really expect, and nobody from NiP really picked up that 5-on-3 advantage. We can afford to leave a guy behind. We can afford to have someone watching our back, watching for these flanks. And just the constant flanking through Donut just whittled them away. And obviously a brilliant play from Tessus at the A bomb site to get a double kill, a timely double kill, and the final timeout is used by NiP. They've got to win 9 in a row.
9 in a row. Nothing about this game so far suggests that that is going to be possible. Even if this second half for Heroic is not quite as fiery and maybe not quite as convincing, they have so much of a buffer to work with that they're not going to be stressed at all right now. 15-6. Yeah, that is quite the lead. What? 2 Khalils, 1 AK. They have almost nothing to work with here. Seeing the opportunity. Peeking behind that flashbang. Going to be taken down Stown. It's a good start.
Especially if you're going to attack the other side of the map.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you might actually be drawing a little bit of attention away. Sjuush fighting inside the fire once again. And he's almost dead behind him. Another backup has started to get there. They just keep trading. Tessus is here as well. 1 for 1. And eventually, it's Brolan left from the other side of the map. They knew that he was out there, so they should know. But he's there maybe a little bit early. Yabi not expecting it, so instead it's a 1-on-1, but the bomb in full control of Tessus. A minute for Brolan to try and find what has to be an almost perfect headshot here.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where it gets a little bit sketchy, because I know you look at the HP and you think this is firmly in control of Tessus, but with this much time on the clock, I mean, it's all going to come down to timing at this point of where they're looking at any random given moment.
Even Tessus is saying, you know what, forget about that bomb. I'm going to be checking this hallway, clearing it out, making sure that I can at least cover one of these positions that you might come from.
Yeah, he clears deep in A main, so he knows he has the timing on when that flank would be possible to know when he can consider it.
Brolan's looking every corner. This is deep, but look at the background here. Tessus is going to have a pretty good shot right now. Yep, sees it, and now he knows. And that's probably all he needed. 15 seconds, tries to go for it, but Tessus will